So next we're going to move on to incapacitation docs, and I'm not going to be able to say that word properly, so just keep that in mind. I'm doing the best that I can. Incapacitation docs. So in the event that you're incapacitated, you want to be able to make sure that you have all of the proper documentations available with you in case, you know, you're not able to have a say-so in the way that your health is going, you know. There are, of course, legal documents that spell out what happens if you become incapacitated. This includes, you know, healthcare proxy, power of attorney, living will, and DNR, do not resuscitate, of course. So first is you want to make sure you have your affairs in order, and this is going to be something that is humongous. Make sure you have your affairs in order. These documents will make sure that you have your affairs in order. It lays out everything that happens in case that you're not able to have a say-so in your own care. First step is making, the first step to making an incapacitation document is to ensure that you have all of the necessary legal documents in place, including living will, healthcare proxy, etc. So let's talk a little bit about the healthcare proxy. The next step is to create the healthcare proxy. This document appoints someone who you trust to make medical decisions on behalf of you if you ever become incapacitated. The person named in the health proxy becomes your agent and can make all the decisions regarding your care, including whether or not, you wanted to seek medical treatment for a specific disease, say, like in the options of do not resuscitate, whether or not to seek medical treatment, or what type of treatment should be given, and how much it should cost. So, of course, that's one of the main things. Of course, you should also consider making an advance directive, AD, as well, which would, of course, outline how you want your life handled if something prevents you from speaking for yourself. And that's going to be something that's huge and you can make at any age. So if you know that you absolutely don't want, a medical treatment or something like that, you can always have advanced directives. Say you don't want a certain treatment, you never want a certain treatment, you can't transfer blood, or you don't want a certain vaccination. You can say, hey, listen, under no circumstances will I get this. So that's another important thing. Another thing is power of attorney. Of course, power of attorney is a legal document that allows you to designate somebody to handle your finances and other legal matters. It's also a very vital part of your incapacitation documents. You can use your power of attorney to appoint somebody to make financial decisions for you, or even give that person permission in the event of an emergency. Of course, you may also want to consider using a power of attorney if it's for, one-on-one caregiving assistance, such as, when one person needs a home health care, healthcare situation. And of course, what we had spoke about previously in the last video is, of course, a living will. A living will is a legal document and a living document. Puns for days. Is a legal document that states your wishes regarding, of course, your medical care should you become incapacitated. It can be used to decline treatment. Like I said, it can be used to decline treatment in the event of an illness or an injury, as well as provide instructions on how to handle your body after death. Not something that we want to talk about, but I've seen pretty creative ways, like people turning their like ashes or stuff like into pencils. If you want to do that, that's cool. Diamonds, stuff like that. Me personally, I'd want to be turned into a diamond. What happens what happens to your body, of course. Of course, it'll give you peace of mind, and peace of mind from others, knowing that they know what to do in case something happens. Of course, another controversial one, of course, is the DNR, do not resuscitate. Do not resuscitate is a legal document that states that you don't want any medical treatment for your illness. It's most commonly used in cases where the patient has a life-threatening illness. So I mean, if you're suffering, if you're suffering and if you have a life-threatening illness, you can put in a do not resuscitate. I will urge you to strongly consider how your family feels. Like if you have a chance to be resuscitated, how would your loved ones feel if you put that out and you chose not to live when your family needed you the most? Of course, it can be a very tricky situation. If you're suffering, then you're suffering. So, like I said, it's mainly used in end-of-life situation when somebody has been diagnosed with dementia or Alzheimer's disease, or like cancer or something, and very difficult. When they no longer recognize their family and their friends. You could write this before you have dementia, of course. If you're no longer able to recognize your family or friends, you might want to put in that do not resuscitate in that case. I can't recognize anybody anymore, so I'll put in this do not resuscitate. However, it isn't limited to advanced age, and anybody can get one or might want to put out one, so keep that in mind. So in conclusion, I hope this has been helpful to you, and I hope that you've learned some more about the incapacitation documents. So next we're going to be talking about moving out and whether you need a notary for that, and how useful a notary public can be for that. So if you're interested, stay tuned. But yeah, I hope you have a good day.